See where that blue vehicle is.
Live and local.
Moments ago, Daniel Callahan pleaded guilty of
the free local news live streaming app. Search LNL on your TV, on your phone. Local News Live. Always streaming, always free.
On Local News Live, when news happens, we're taking you there. Live on location. Local News Live, connecting your nation to your neighborhood.
The HillCorp Giving Program is so innovative, powerful, and generous.
It allows individual employees to put the money where they feel like they can have the biggest impact.
HillCorp employees have donated over $26 million to nonprofits.
The impact goes far and wide.
HillCorp matches each of our donations up to $2,000 annually.
It's putting the power in the employee's hand.
It really does, give a sense of pride and ownership.
HillCorp, working for Alaska.
Over $26 million to nonprofits.
The impact goes far and wide.
HillCorp matches each of our donations up to $2,000 annually.
It's putting the power in the employee's hand.
It really does, give a sense of pride and ownership.
HillCorp, working for Alaska.
Look, at Monday Morning Alaska, we're talking about a lot of things going on across the state this week. Of course, we still got some windy conditions across South Central. Where we've seen winds gusting as high as about 80 to 85 miles per hour last night. And while winds are set to die down into the evening hours, still going to be some fairly breezy conditions throughout the day. So this is what we're going to be talking about this week across the state. We've got rain, snow, freezing rain, winds, and flooding for Southeast. We've got the ongoing windy conditions for South Central. And of course, that bitter cold through the interior showing no signs of letting up. We continue to see those overnight lows anywhere from 40 to 50 below through the interior, while afternoon highs only managed to warm to about 30 below. And we are seeing temperatures this morning 45 below in Fairbanks, 12 below in McGrath, as well as Glen Allen, even out towards Dead Horse. We're seeing those temperatures anywhere from about 30 to 40 below. So the core of the coldest air is situated across the eastern slope as well as into the interior. And this is where we're going to continue to favor some of those colder conditions. Meanwhile, out towards southeast, this is where we're holding on to several weather alerts. Now, not much to be expected for the interior over the next couple of days. You can see that 7-day forecast for Fairbanks favoring some flurry potential Tuesday into Wednesday. Of course, most of that snowfall activity will largely take hold through the southern and southeastern parts of the interior. A better opportunity for those locations near the Alaska range. But notice those temperatures for the foreseeable future continue to remain bitter cold. But we've got this area of low pressure that's building into the Gulf Coast region. That is going to be an atmospheric river that's taking aim on southeast. This is bringing in not only warmer conditions, but some flooding concerns for the southern panhandle. And we're also seeing some lingering light snow showers pushing through Prince William Sound, southern parts of the Copper River Basin, and then out towards southeastern parts of the Kenai. While we can't rule out some flurries building north into Anchorage in the valley, largely expecting to remain on the dry side. But notice the multitude of those weather alerts that we're dealing with, primarily encompassing southeast. This is where we got winter storm warnings, flood advisories, winter weather advisories, which does include portions of the Kenai as well as into Prince William Sound and southern parts of the Copper River Basin. But of course, the greatest impacts continue to be out towards southeast. Now, winds continue to be a concern across the state. You can see right now those winds are gusting anywhere from about 30 to 55 miles per hour across the state. Of course, we've seen some locally higher wind gusts across across South Central. Since midnight, we've seen winds gusting up to 80 miles per hour in Palmer, near 70 mile per hour winds gusting in Wasilla, and then down through western parts of Kenai as well as Seward, where those winds have been gusting about 30 to 65 miles per hour. We're still favoring some high winds out towards Valdez and Thompson Pass, but notice throughout the day, yes, it's still going to be a windy Monday across South Central, but by the time the evening commute arrives, we'll see those winds of about 20 to 40 miles per hour across South Central. Those will steadily decrease through the night. We could still see some gusts up to 20, 30 miles per hour early tomorrow morning, but then as we head through the day Tuesday on into Wednesday and Thursday, a lot calmer activity does build back in outside of coastal regions, and this is going to open the door for colder weather to spill back in across South Central as we welcome in the new year. So while we're in the teens and 20s today, by this weekend into early next week, we're actually going to see those temperatures drop down into the lower single digits. So we can't rule out a few flurry potentials, opportunities as we welcome in your Tuesday, but of course the better chance for that will be out towards the Chugach Range, Prince William Sound, and through southeastern parts of the Kenai. But notice as we welcome in the weekend, really New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and on into the weekend, there's that colder weather that's going to build in across South Central. Still on the dry side though, with that recent snow that we did see, we're now sitting at the 10th lowest snowfall total for the month of December, and not expecting much, if any, accumulation to close out the year outside of that slight chance we'll see for your Tuesday. But now on to Southeast. This is where we're going to see most of the impacts here over the next couple of days. And there's going to be a fine line between snow and freezing rain and then all rain across the Panhandle. That's why we've got several areas up under flood advisories, winter storm warnings, as well as seeing that potential for some gusty winds. So if you live from Yakutat out towards Haines, Tyatt Inlet, Lynn Canal, and Juneau, largely expecting to see some snow with this system. We could see some outside potential for up to a foot of that snow accumulation throughout the day. But notice that fine line you're seeing just south of Yakutat before it transitions into some rain, as well as just south of Juneau. That's where we could see some freezing rain mixing in at the surface. So be careful on those roadways, as you will encounter the potential for those slick and hazardous conditions. And on top of that snow that's falling, that freezing rain will be a concern as well. Now, areas south of about Sitka, as you head out towards Port Alexander, Ketchikan, even as you head out towards Cake, largely expecting to see more in the way of widespread rain. This is where that flood advisory remains in effect. Now, it's primarily for all of the southern Panhandle, with the exception of Hyder, which does remain up under a winter storm warning, where we are going to see some snow out towards the Alaska-Canadian border. But be prepared for this ongoing active weather to stay with us. That means that areas out towards Ketchikan, as you head towards Prince of Wales Island and surrounding areas where temperatures will warm into the 40s and 50s, rain is expected for you for most of the week. It's really the northern and central Panhandle that's kind of teeter-totter back and forth between a snow-rain event, largely depending on those temperatures. So be prepared for several inches of snowfall for the northern Panhandle, while heavy rain grips areas of the southern Panhandle, and this will stick around for a good portion of this week. Now, when it comes to snow accumulation, you can see areas to the north. This is where we could see up to a foot of snowfall accumulation. Yakutat may see those snow totals kind of cut in half compared to what we'll see for the rest of the southeast, and that's largely due to freezing rain, which will impact areas of the Yakutat and far northwestern parts of the Panhandle. But notice from Petersburg out towards Craig, Ketchikan, largely on the dry side in terms of snowfall. We're going to see widespread rain sticking around for the southern Panhandle, where we could see 2 to 3+ inches of additional rain accumulation, and that will amount to the potential that we could see some flooding concerns. So keep that in mind. Atmospheric rivers tend to bring several rounds of some rainfall and some gusty winds, and when we're talking about that, there is that potential we could even see some landslide concerns anytime we're dealing with these flood advisories and these atmospheric rivers that are impacting southeast. So sticking around in the forecast will be that heavy snowfall for a good portion of the northern and the central portions of the Panhandle, but the southern Panhandle will see rain sticking around with temperatures climbing into the 40s, potentially some 50s. But you can see for the central Panhandle and areas to the north, largely expecting highs to stay below freezing. Now, if you live out towards Haines, as you head out towards Skagway, this is where we're going to hold on to those temperatures potentially in the teens and 20s. This is where we've already seen up to 4 feet of snow out towards Haines. So we expect to see several more rounds of that snowfall to stick around. Yes, it's going to be a snowy into the year as we welcome in January. Right now, Juneau is sitting at, I believe, the 7th snowiest December on record, with more to be expected as the month and year draws to a close. Of course, we'll keep our eyes on that record, as well as the ongoing snow that continues to grip areas of southeast. Of course, south central winds remain with us through at least tonight. May see some gusts of 20 to 30 miles per hour for your morning commute, but Tuesday will be a lot dry, or a lot calmer in terms of the winds, with some flurry potential. And Fairbanks and most of the state continues to remain up under a bitter cold weather pattern. We'll continue to track this for you, give you more on that coming up at the noon show as well as in the evening newscast. For now, make sure you have a great Monday, great rest of the year, and also a happy new year as we close out 2025. Central Panhandle and areas to the north, largely expecting highs to stay below freezing.